That's weird. That's weird. Kind of wearing me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 149 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor. A Build-A-Bear factory.
He will never say his real name. And we are back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and... I forgot your word.
Skydiving.
Skydiving.
Just in time for the holidays of Halloween.
Oh, big skydiving holiday.
Love it.
Are you wearing the fucking mitt?
I've just got the arm on.
David's got a Sasquatch arm on. It's a part of a onesie?
Yeah, I'm gonna be Sasquatch this year.
Tell him what you're doing. Sounds like a fun time.
Oh yeah, so my wife wanted to host a one of those like murder mystery parties. When everybody has a character sheet and you have to like play the character. So
like
this one,
a kit.
Yeah,
or like
this one's
or like a thing online.
This one's a little different. This one is actually, it's not a murder mystery technically. It's someone stole a vial from like a witch that turns people into humans. And so like someone stole it because like they're trying to turn back into a human or turn into a human. But everybody participating is a different type of monster. And I am a Bigfoot. My wife is a, Medusa.
Sexy lizard man?
Yes. Kind of close. Yeah, she's Medusa.
Close.
Yeah. But, you know, we've got...
And then there's some other, like, Swamp Thing.
We've got...
Jared was on a while back. He was, like, up on episode 3.
Oh, yeah. Jared, one of our first... Actually, the first guest, I believe. He
Yes.
will be in attendance now that he lives in Eugene with me. There's a Troll Boy.
I'm not going to be there.
Troll Boy's going to win.
Troll Boy can't win.
Yeah, you know that, right?
Yeah.
You get that.
Because the goose suit. Watch I Think You Should Leave if you haven't. That's
yeah. 90% of what we say will make more sense if you watch that show.
Deep cuts. We're laying them out.
Yeah, the Troll Boy's fiance, she's going to be a screaming banshee.
Ooh. I feel like that's redundant. Banshees are just known for screaming, right?
Yeah. There's going to be some mummies.
Okay.
Some Frankenstein monsters and the Bride of Frankenstein's monster.
Whoa. I know, that's so weird. Dude, I just went to Hollywood Horror Nights, and they still call it Bride of Frankenstein. I'm like,
I know.
Was the doctor fucking the thing?
Oh, you know he was. You know, it's honestly, it's surprising he didn't start with the bride.
He's like, well, why do she have that white stripe in her hair, though?
Oh, no.
Was that a fashion thing, or was that like...
I think it was, yeah, I don't know.
He took hair from most of a person, then they didn't have that little piece of hair, so he had to go get like an old person's hair and then just kind of like tie it together into like her other hair, and that's why it's white, right? I
always imagined it was from the lightning strike.
Wait, was she made out of dead people parts like Frankenstein?
Why wouldn't she be?
I don't know. I just it's very clear when you see Frankenstein's monster because he's got like the stitches on his neck and like the bolts in his head and like, but I don't know much of her lore. The Bride of Frankenstein's monster.
Well, the whole thing is they had to make her sexy. They couldn't make her too much of a monster.
I think she wears like a big lab coat.
Yeah, I mean it's really just like a tale of like, look at this bumbling fool who accidentally kills a child and throws it in the river, and then he gets a hot bride, and that shows the viewers that, you know, you might be a huge piece of shit, but you know you might get a beautiful bride one day.
If you accidentally kill a kid, are you a huge piece of shit?
I think so.
I'm a huge piece of shit.
Jesus.
But like I said, we're back and we got some stories for you. But before we get into the long stories, we got to catch you up on any of the weird news you may have missed.
I got 3.
Okay. I also wanted to talk like a little bit about like the Hollywood Horror Nights because like I just for those of you guys that don't know, I've been to it before. David and I went to Queen Mary as well. I got sick. We had to go home early. That sucked. But
I worked during that damn Hollywood Nights of Horror. I'm sure I've
At
talked
Universal?
about this.
At Universal?
I filmed a music video while it was
What,
going
like
on.
the Monster Mash?
No, it was Mariah Carey's Christmas music video, the one that came
Fuck.
out like a few years
With
ago
Chi-Chi the dog?
with Chi Chi the dog. Yeah,
That little bastard transformed into a dog. Get him his human potion. That little bastard in his whitey tighties running around, biting people.
pissing on
Snip.
everything. No,
He's a
but
piss boy.
well, yeah, our set was located on the Universal lot, and
It was like the back lot, huh?
yeah, but it like we would see like the people in costumes like going around the fake walls and like, like we were very close to it, and so for 3 days in a row for 16 hours, all I heard on repeat was like a 16-second long, like metal version of the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over and over again for 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, you're lucky that there wasn't like the Halloween, as in like the movie Michael Myers Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, because then you'd just be in like.
That might have been better than hearing like the over and
that's
over
pretty
and over again.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even a Halloween song. That's about Norse mythology.
Well, it was the snowy area where Krampus was running amok.
Oh, yeah. They had like the holiday shit going on. You like walk through and there's like a leprechaun, like zombie in a cage. I've seen that.
No, that wasn't an actor.
That was Troll Boy. But the mazes that they had there were like okay this year. There's some that I really enjoyed. The two hitters for me were Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Exorcist. Those were the last two I did. Those are great. But they also had like Halloween 4, which is good. But Michael Myers is only so scary, he's not Leatherface.
They said Halloween Thor.
That's the new one. Taika Waititi. He getting crazy with these sequels, I tell you.
Yeah.
And then they had like The Haunting of Hill House, which was I loved the show. The show was
I still
great.
haven't watched that.
It was good. I really enjoyed it. It's like a drama and a horror. Like you're just as invested in like the people as you are like in like the horror, because a lot of horror misses that like human element, But the haunted house was okay. It was just like okay. And then they had Bride of Frankenstein. It's monster, but they called it Bride of Frankenstein. That was a maze. And then they had like a purge thing, which is always kind of cool, but like the purge needs to like take 10 years off and then come back.
Yeah.
It's like they kind of oversaturated it at this point.
It's not a fucking FIFA game. You guys need to chill out. Don't gotta put shit out every goddamn year.
I mean, like they always like this new one that just came out. I haven't seen it, but it's just like they're like, it's in Texas, and guess what? The bell rang, the purge is over, but they don't say it is. And you're like, they're just murdering people. Like it's not even the purge. It should be like the day after the purge. It's called the Forever Purge, and they're like, we're gonna keep killing people, and you're like, isn't that just Texas?
Yeah, I think that's just Texas.
I'm just kidding. No, but I think if they try to do like a little commentary on like, because I think it was about like illegal immigrants and like the Texas border and stuff like that, which is like kind of interesting. And I'll give them points for that. That's kind of like interesting in itself. But like, I just saw they're coming out with the new Paranormal Activity. It's called like Next of Kin.
Is that like 8? Is that number 8 now?
Yeah, I don't know. She's like, I miss. She like goes to like an Amish farm and she's like, I miss my mom. You guys are like my closest family. And then you're like, your mom never left. And she's like, what? And then she like goes down like underneath the Amish farm and they got like mutated people down there. And you're like, yeah,
they got mutants now.
Well, something was crawling on all fours. They're cave dwellers.
Fuck's sakes!
You got a Schmeagle down there. Anyway, so yeah, Halloween Horror Nights was good, but yeah, I think they just need to I kind of want them to throw a maze out there that I am just not expecting. I kind of want like a Chucky, like a Child's Plays maze for next year.
Well, they've got to have the IP.
They do have the IP for Chucky.
Okay.
Because and then they just aired a show on Sci-Fi that's coming out, and it looks okay. I think
Chucky show?
Yeah, they're like. I kind of have a problem with them like constantly just using teenagers for everything because like they want teenagers to watch it. But
Yeah.
like it's fine, it's okay. But I kind of want either like a little kid or like adults.
They just found out about Stranger Things, and they're trying to capitalize on it.
Basically, but it's sci-fi, so they don't really have the budget. So it's like it looks okay though. I mean, like I love Chucky no matter what. Like he's campy, he's funny. Like they can make a shitty one and you still kind of enjoy it because they're all like a little shitty, but they're fun. So it's like
I think
whatever.
they're all pretty shitty.
I mean, the first one was fucking terrifying when they like open the battery on the back and it like its head spins around and then she drops it and it rolls underneath the couch and you're like, what the fuck? And I like, but it also like kills somebody with a hammer and like knocks them out a window. And I was like, that, you know, you punt that motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
I love a Chucky, but like he's got to have a machine gun to take me down. Anyway, so we should probably get into these stories.
Yeah.
I mean the news stories. You have 3. I just have 2. Mine are quick. Man dies after friend pumps air up his rectum. Cops wonder if it's a prank or murder.
That's got to be a really creative murder. That had to have been for fun. They're probably trying to blast out a big old fart.
So it was really weird because in this article it says a bizarre death incident was reported in Uttar Pradesh, India. So this is in India, where a man died after air was pumped into his rectum. The victim, a worker at an export facility, succumbed. It keeps moving the fucking page because of the ads. Succumbed to his injuries while undergoing treatment at the hospital. And his friend, who has been arrested, had apparently played a prank on the victim. And here's the thing: the prank was so the victim was 23 years old, pretty young, and his friend Fahar said, "Oh, they would clean each other's clothes using an air compressor after finishing their shift at the export firm based in."
Oh, yeah,
I'm
I've
not
done
going to
that.
try to say that village in a city in India. I'm just going to butcher these. And it's on the fateful day the two were cleaning up before leaving for home, and that's when Farhan allegedly pumped air into Aslam's rectum. So Aslam started to feel unwell. I think he like bent over, and as a joke, he took the air compressor and like put it against his like fucking butthole and like pulled the trigger.
I
And
mean, air
think, like,
compressor. Those things are strong too, so it could have
Oh,
easily gone through
yeah.
fabric.
dude.
Like
yeah.
it didn't have to be a bare bottom murder here.
Well, I hope no one was bare bottoming it. They're still at work. You got to have professionalism. But yeah, he fucking pumped him full of air like a beach ball, and they rushed him to the hospital. And the man died under mysterious circumstances, and his family has alleged that his friend pumped air into his rectum, which caused his death. So he fucking died there. Sorry, I'm
Jesus.
hiccuping. I just ate.
Got
Yeah,
too much
so,
air in your rectum.
I mean, you would think you'd just be able to fart it out, but like you said, it's so powerful. Probably like ripped some stuff in there.
Oh, definitely like ripped his organs up.
Right? That's fucking scary, dude. You hear about people like getting like their finger cut off with like a pressure washer, or at least like losing the skin on their
Oh
finger.
yeah, pressure washers.
getting
Those things
degloved.
don't fuck with those.
No, but that's like the same thing. It's just air. It's like
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. But you guys gotta be careful with. That's the way you go too. It's never like, it's never like, oh yeah, the chainsaw. Like I dropped the chainsaw on like my friend. It's always just like, oh, I threw a stapler across the room and it hit him in the temple and it like gave him a brain aneurysm. You're like, what?
That's happens all the time.
It really does. The red line swing stapler from Office Space. That's the number one killer in America.
Yep.
Okay, what's yours?
So driver in Burlington caught playing flute with both hands, said the police.
Wait, in the coat factory?
Yes, he was driving through the coat factory.
God, don't we all want to do that a little bit? I've never been inside of a Burlington coat factory.
As far as I'm aware, they don't exist.
You know Burlington Coat Factory killed Jeffrey Epstein?
Did they?
It's a Conor O'Malley video. It's when he like smokes
Yeah,
all the
there you go.
cigarettes for 5G.
That's why anytime you're talking madness, it's probably just a quote from Conor O'Malley.
Yeah, true. Wait, can you say that again? What did he do? He drove through a Burlington Coat Factory?
Yeah, he was driving through the coat factory, playing a flute with both hands, and the police saw him with no hands on the steering wheel and pulled him over.
Wait, are you serious? Oh, okay. So he was driving, playing the flute with both hands.
Yeah.
It is illegal, but it also should not be illegal, because at the same time, like, they say that eating while you're driving is illegal, but I kind of like imagine.
Oh, I do that all day. I can't drive unless I'm eating something. It's kind of like a breathalyzer thing. My car watches to make sure I'm eating while I'm driving. Yeah.
It needs like Baconator breath in order to start.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Needs some secret sauce in a tube.
Yeah, it's always watching me.
It needs cavity breath, and my boy eats candy while he drives.
It wants to smell the rotten.
He has a whole fucking tub of red vines in his center console.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
I'm like notoriously like not a sweet tooth.
In this scenario, you are. Well, okay, what are you eating in your drives then, huh, buddy?
Oh, sunflower seeds all day.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Are you spitting them into a cup or like out the window and getting them all over the side of your car?
I try to go out the window, half of them end up in the back seat.
You don't do that, dude.
You think I care? Look at me.
You got to have a spitter. Especially if you're going fast.
If I've got like an empty cup, of course I'll fill that to the brim so my mouth bleeds.
Till it's all raw and salty.
Yeah. Any sunflower seeds listening, you can sponsor us. I've already got a flavor for you. I got a flavor that's not on the market.
Oh, what's that?
Mustard.
Oh, wait, what kind of mustard?
You can do any mustard you want.
What's your preferred? You better say the right one.
Dijon probably.
Oh, that's a good one. I was kind of thinking like spicy brown.
Yeah, spicy brown would be good.
But they kind of like, the only problem with Dijon is they got that horseradish kick to it.
Exactly.
Like a little horse kick. And I feel like that could be problematic if you take a whole honking cheekful.
No. Bring it on.
Do you eat the shells? Are you like that kid? Ugh.
But
do you also eat like raw pasta? Do you eat dry pasta? Or like
fun.
top ramen, like dry
Snaps.
top ramen?
No, I just fixed my furniture with that.
I tend to use a walnut on the legs of the chairs, but I get the validation of when you got real drunk and the Patriots lost, so you drop an elbow through your coffee table and you got to top ramen it back to health.
God.
You know,
if you're a real football fan, you would have said the Bills won and you dive bombed your table.
True, but I'm also thinking like Boston antics.
Why?
Because you know how Bostonians are. They're just like fucking. They love their teams, and they got anger problems.
Yeah, it's true.
Bill
a little
Burr,
bit of
man.
racism. It's great.
Yeah, a little. Makes the world go round. But that's not a quote. Don't quote me on that. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was some other guy. Well, that's good. I hope Flute Guy gets out, or at least I hope he gets and gives him a nice melody while he's in his cell.
Yeah, hopefully they give him his flute in the cell.
Oh, he just got a ticket. He didn't get put in jail.
You don't know how they do it in Burlington Coat Factory.
It's either
First offense is jail.
It's either life or the death penalty. And it's always the death penalty. They just put you in like 40 coats and then make you run around the store until you exhaust yourself and die.
They beat you to death with a flute.
If you're wearing a coat, you're good. You're fine.
You gotta take a few bludgeonings.
Well, there you go. So, this next one I have, speaking of bludgeonings or with weapons, diver pulls 900-year-old crusade sword from sea floor. Did you see this thing?
No. I did see that the sword at Disneyland is like missing.
What? That's not this.
Well, it's very relevant.
Here, dude, wait, I gotta find the picture. So this, like, I guess off the coast of Israel. Let me see if I can't really show you right here. I mean, you can Google it, but like, it's like the hilt.
Yeah.
Look
Covered
at that
in
thing.
fucking muscles.
Yeah. So, wait, no, that's the camera's on me, right?
Oh yeah.
So this sword is like a broadsword. I don't know how long it is. I mean,
It looks big as fuck, by the way. That guy was holding it.
Yeah, I'm big as fuck, boy. It says 1 blade meter with a it has a 1 meter blade and a 30 centimeter hilt.
Okay.
So it's like a big honking sword, and they found it on like the ocean floor, and it is covered with sea life. So there's like little shells, little barnacles, little seaweed, and they pull it out, and it looks so cool. It looks like if when they make the live action Little Mermaid, they're gonna give like Poseidon this motherfucker, right?
No, Poseidon always has a trident.
Yeah, but like he's got to have like a trident is good if you got the net too. But like you got no chopping power with that. You only got stabbing power.
Yeah.
But at the same time, have you ever tried to swing a sword underwater? It goes slow. You could stab underwater easy, right?
Okay.
Is that why?
What? Is that why he has a trident?
Is that why he has a stabby weapon instead of a swingy weapon?
Probably.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
God, those Greeks think of
spearfish?
everything.
I don't fucking know. Why you asking me this shit?
What? Wouldn't that be funny if Poseidon had a spear fishing gun?
What?
It's kind of that's.
Yeah, he's
it's
friends with the fish though. What do they eat?
That's what I'm saying. It's like a cow king having like one of those fucking No Country for Old Men fucking cattle killer air pump guns.
Yeah.
He's walking around with that. Everyone's like, that's like that weapon causes a lot of. That's a problematic weapon in this community. And he's
Yeah.
like, what's the big deal? I like it. It's fucking cool. And you're
The
like,
queen
"Ah."
hornets just flying around with fucking like bug spray.
Yeah, exactly. She got a big old fucking can of Raid.
Yeah.
Oh
The Raid
man,
Queen.
I love that title for a movie.
The Raid Queen.
Ooh. I'm already writing it right now in my head. I'm writing it. But yeah, so they found this sword. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with it. I'm not reading about it, really. I just like love the look of the sword. But go check it out. 900-year-old crusade sword. It looks so cool. It looks like what a prop maker would make if they were just like, make Aquaman have a sword in this movie. And you're like, okay, make it covered in like shells and like it's fucking gigantic.
Barnacles.
Oh, barnacles.
I think you're going to be really excited by this news story.
Oh.
The Wiggles' original lineup to reunite for an adults-only arena tour. Swearing is allowed.
Swearing's allowed, and Anthony's going to be there.
Yeah, he will.
Wow. I love Anthony. Can you name all the Wiggles? I think Steven's one of them. So I was not, obviously, I'm 29. I almost forgot how old I am. And I was not in the Wiggles era, but this might be embarrassing. My girlfriend was also not in the Wiggles era.
You want me to name them for you? Because I know them off the top of my head.
Her mom, my girlfriend's mom, knew of the Wiggles, and I think she had a crush on one of the Wiggles.
Yeah.
Are they all just like handsome hunks?
No. God, they did not age
What?
well. One of them's
it's the-
handsome.
It's the turtleneck. That was Anthony?
Anthony's still handsome.
Yeah. Wait, is it Anthony?
What?
Is Anthony the handsome one, or are you just saying that?
Yeah, no, he's definitely the handsome one.
Fuck yeah. Fucking love Anthony.
Yeah, the Wiggle, Anthony Field, Murray Cook, Jeff Fatt, and Greg Page. Knew them all off the top of my head. I'm not reading that from the article.
Okay, now which one's Sal? Which one's the one that hates the germs? Which one's that? The Sal guy?
I thought you're okay. Yeah,
I'm
you
not
led
gonna
you
say
led into
anything.
that one really strong, and I thought you were gonna say something completely different.
I knew what you thought I was going to
Jesus
say.
Christ! Oh my god!
Just because I said that one thing earlier, now you think I'm off the hinges. Okay. Oh, so they're coming back. Where are they playing? At the fucking the Super Bowl halftime show?
They are playing. It says
With Kendrick?
they're opening for Kendrick.
That would be the fucking coolest show ever.
It looks like it might all be in Australia. Are they Australian?
Boo. Oh, that would make sense.
Would it? I've never.
They do
I've
have a
never
little
seen
bit of a
second
rugged
their stuff.
edge. They got a little bit of a rugged edge to them.
They all have big knives, right?
They wiggle, but they also got a little bit of a little edge to them. Like a ruler. You
Somehow
know?
I'm now at the point where I'm at the Wiggles merch site.
You got good merch?
No.
What?
I was hoping. Oh, here they are. They do. They got
Like baby bibs?
They got shirts that say "I'm a Wiggly Dad."
I need that. You know it's fucking crazy. If you don't have a kid, you're going to prison.
There's a tote bag. I'm a Wiggly Mom. 30 years and counting.
Are they in prison?
Yeah, man. Some of these shirts are actually fire though.
Does it say 25 to life?
Re-Wiggled, a tribute to the Wiggles.
Wait, 30 years and counting? So wait, they
must have been going when I was a little buddy.
wow, I must have just missed them. Were they like killing it in like the UK and Australia and we just got them late?
Must have.
Mustard
Seeds.
Mustard seeds.
Dude, some of
Onions
these,
are made from mustard seeds.
Do I buy myself "I'm a Wiggly Dad" shirt right now? $29.99.
They have adult sizes. I guess it's the dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
20. Can I see it? Can you flip? You can't flip the camera.
No,
Can I just
on-
Google "I'm a Wiggly Dad" or
Well,
am I gonna get some weird site?
You'll
I'm
get a
Wiggly
weird site for
Dad.
sure. I could just take a quick picture of my phone and hold up to the camera. 'cause
I'm a Wiggly Dad merch. Oh, I see it. I see it right here. Yeah. Oh, you're going for the black one. I kind of like the white shirt.
Hey, you know me. I'm a sloppy boy. I can't do white.
This looks like looks like a shirt that was designed in the 80s by like the fucking guy who left Genesis. What's that guy's name? Peter Gabriel?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like Peter Gabriel designed this shirt.
Yeah, man. They go all the way up to 3XL. It's good to know. Good to know.
Is Peppa the Pig still killing it?
I hope so. Peppa Pig is great. I've watched
Oh,
a
it's
few
Peppa.
Pig.
It's not Peppa the Pig. It's Peppa
No,
Pig.
it's Peppa Pig. Pretty
Last
sure.
name Pig, first name Peppa. Like a sprained ankle, boy, I ain't nothing to mess with.
They also have a shirt that just says "Wake up, Jeff.
What?
You're dreaming."
Jeff, enjoy your training.
No, you're dreaming, Jeff. Wake up.
Oh, was he like the guy in Inception?
Oh.
Was he?
They've got
What?
a I'm a Wiggly grandparent.
Oh, that's nice.
Is there a car alarm going off over it near you?
Nope. Yeah, that's a car alarm.
Oh, I was
It
like,
is.
is that?
That's me.
Because I was gonna say, is that outside my place?
I thought we fucking closed the window, man. Where's it coming through? God, there's so many fucking car alarms. It drives me crazy, man.
Welcome to LA.
What do they got any? It's gonna shut off in a second. But do they got any merch with like Anthony on it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Wait, I just want
Uh,
to see what he looks like real quick.
yeah. They've got a men's shirt right here that
Anthony.
says "Fruit Salad
Anthony.
Yummy Yummy 1994 Unisex Adult Tee."
Oh, Anthony Field. Oh, wait.
I mean, they got
Oh,
half,
no.
half of them got Anthony on them.
Wait, what? Was Anthony in the hospital?
Probably.
Oh my god, this is a shirtless picture of Anthony in like tiny shorts. Dude, wait. I'm not even fucking with you, dude. Look at this. Dude, my boy's tatted. He's tatted. What's his tats? Wait,
He's
he's got a
definitely
dragon?
making me a Wiggly Dad right now.
He has that effect on most moms and dads. Wait, okay. He has, looks like, dude, does he have, dude. I can't fucking see this full tattoo. It looks like he has a tattoo of Majora's Mask. wait. Okay, wait. Tattoo. Wait. It is not Majora's Mask. Okay. it's not.
What could it be that you had been mistaken?
Please Google Anthony Field tattoo, and you will see what I'm talking about.
God, you
He's
know
got
we're
a-
still
he's got a
recording
Mother
right now,
Teresa.
right?
Are we? Oh, wait.
It's the heart with the spikes. That does look like Majora's Mask.
Yeah, thank you. But I only saw it from like dude, he's
No,
a
I got you
beefcake.
on
He
that.
does gymnastics. Oh, he has a book called "It's Him
How
on."
I got my wiggle back.
You seen that? Is that a book on ED? Wait, no, he had wiggle. Wait, you would have wiggle if you had ED, right? How I got my wiggle?
I don't know.
How I
I'm
got
not-
rid of my wiggle?
Not sure.
No, me neither. Definitely not me.
Well, speaking of wiggle, speaking of penis wiggle, we're gonna go to my next news story, which is new
Okay.
penis ring monitors your nighttime erection activity.
Whoa, it's pretty sweet.
I don't know if I would be able to fall asleep with a ring on my penis. I feel like that would
No.
just be too annoying.
I've never put one on.
I have
know-
not
I
either,
don't
but
know.
I
I don't-
don't think it would be like fun.
No, I don't like rings on my hands. I'm gonna have a problem when I get married.
That's not
'Cause
gonna happen.
I don't even want. I don't even want to wear a ring on my finger. I get claustrophobic.
That's the wrong
about it.
hand, you dipshit.
Well,
You're really holding up your right hand.
not in Australia, where I'm gonna marry Anthony. How I got my husband back.
We might have to pull that last news story back because when I clicked on the link to look at the article, I got a 404 sad face not found.
Oh,
So that might have been a big old ruse.
it's okay. Something's got to measure your penis sleep.
It's true.
It exists somewhere, just not on that website. Wow, that's pretty neat. Yeah, what about that? What about that? Jeff Bezos invented that.
You seem
That's
a
what I
little
thought.
distracted. Are you still looking at pictures of Anthony?
You know what? I'm printing pictures of Anthony.
Is that what that sound is? Okay.
Yeah, it's using all the colored ink on that on that Majora's Mask tattoo.
Are you taking that picture of Katie out of the picture frame? Are you replacing
No,
that photo?
I'm leaving her in there, but Anthony's face is going over it. Although Anthony's body is one of his selling points, I will keep Katie's body and put Anthony's face or Katie's face in Anthony's body. Either one really works for me.
Yeah.
So we'll mix it. We'll mix and match. So, did you guys tune into like a fucking spooky podcast or something?
Oh, are we done with the news? Because I was going to mention one more thing.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Just because it's something we haven't talked about at all on this podcast. Probably because a lot of people have heard enough about it. But they did find the remains of the one guy.
I knew that was coming. I knew it. Like, I watched you, and you're like, they found the remains of, and I was
Jeff Laundry?
like, Brian,
George Laundry? I knew
George
Laundry.
of the Jungle. Wait,
But
no,
yeah,
wait, those were his remains?
Yeah, it was confirmed earlier today.
Really?
Yeah. Alligators ate him up.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
Pretty sure.
What,
All the
did he
comments
kill
I read
himself?
said that the body of water they found his remains in is like alligator infested.
Oh, I'm surprised they found a body at all then.
Yeah. I don't think it was. I think it was mostly bones.
Holy shit. Dude, that's fucking crazy. I am so curious on why Dog the Bounty Hunter couldn't find a bone. He's a dog.
It's true. It's kind of what they're known for.
But did you see his interview where he's like, this message is for Brian Laundrie? And he goes, I'm going to get you.
Is that what I've watched that
No.
video like 100 times and I could never understand
No.
what the hell he was
He
actually
doesn't
saying.
say, he doesn't say, I'm going to get you. He's like, give me you or something like that. He's like, he says something that's like no one says. He's like,
It
I
didn't-
want
yeah,
you. Give me you.
I could...
You're like, what?
Dog, what are you saying?
Give me you. No, that whole story is like if you guys listen to any true crime podcast, they probably are like beating that into the ground.
Exactly.
And
We
know,
try to stay away from the big ones.
yeah, we're kind of a deep cut podcast. We're talking about Anthony from the Wiggles. What other true crime podcast is talking about Wiggle Anthony? Anthony
It's true.
Field. None. Nobody.
None. Can't name them.
No, that
Bozo.
whole. Remember when they said that he was like underneath the garden bed?
Yeah. I mean, he could have. He might have
Brian
been.
Laundrie's been in the garden stealing all the carrots again.
I just saw people commenting on that shit, being like, "We should spread this just so the police dig up his parents' like garden." Jesus.
Oh. Parents didn't do nothing but raise a monster. No, that's not their
It'd
fault.
probably help him hide for a while.
Dude, okay. We're never going to get to these stories, but I just have to say one more thing. Katie was like, oh, his parents were like, we want to help you go try to find our son. And apparently, I have no idea if this is legitimate or valid or what the fuck is going on, because I didn't follow it that closely. Because I was kind of like, it's just like so much, and it's kind of gross to me, and like I felt bad about it. But they said that the parents went out there and they're like, what's that? And it was like his shit, his stuff. And
Yeah,
then
like
they're
they knew exactly where it was.
Yeah, I was like, I think maybe like one of two things happened. Like, I don't think he called, because they definitely have the parents' phones like wiretapped.
Oh, yeah.
I think like he basically like told them, like he maybe like sent a letter or was like, I'm gonna kill myself, because if there's one thing that like I was thinking about, I was like, so he definitely did it. He had to have done it just from like the past. I mean, everyone's innocent until proven guilty, but like it was like 99.99% sure that he did it. And I was like, if he did it and he gets caught, the last thing he's going to want to do, because he doesn't seem like that cold calculated kind. He kind of seems like he has like fucking mental problems where he's like anger issues, and he snapped and did it. And then he was like, oh no. So I was like, this guy is not going to want to sit through like court and like basically the world like judging him because he can't handle it. I was like, he's going to like either escape or kill himself. Like, he's not going to sit through this. He's guilty already. Yeah. And I was like, maybe he was like, he sent a note that's like, I'm going to kill myself, mom and dad. My body will be here. You could find me, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, put an end to like all the like media and people sitting outside the house. Like,
yeah. But like, also, I don't know how you get a letter to your parents unless, I guess you could drop it in a mailbox. Like, that's kind of harder to, they might have intercept. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it was luck. Maybe it was coincidental. Anyway, we should probably get into these stories, because this has been our longest intro ever, I think. But
it's almost been like 40 minutes.
Holy fuck. Well, if it makes it any better, my story today is a two-parter. So I'm going to tell
I have
the
to
first
edit tonight.
Oh, well, hopefully we don't have to edit anything. We can just keep it going. No edits.
Yeah.
No edits. You guys getting the raw, uncut file, motherfucker.
I usually don't edit it anyways.
Shit. Yeah, we don't.
Are you going to start your fucking story?
Fuck you, asshole. Okay, yeah, I am. But like I said, it's a two-parter. So Here we go. Now, David, you know I'm the murderer guy. I'm the guy who has to go into all the gory details of the worst crimes on the internet because you know I fucked this up already. It's classic me.
No edits, baby. No edits.
Fuck you. But I have to go into all the gory details of the worst crimes of the internet because it's not much, but it is honest work, and also it's what the people want. They want the gory details. Well, today, I want to tell you a story of a murderer who I coincidentally have something in common with. Not the hiccup. You might be saying, is it our shared love of murdering people? And I would have to, for legal reasons, say, no, of course not. But we do share a very small commonality that I will get to in the story that made me feel weird and guilty and, of course, exhilarated. But we'll get into that as today I tell you the story of Robert Berdella. Robert Berdella. So
it's not Robert Berdella. It says Robert Berdella.
It's not Robert Berdella.
Okay.
You know what? He might have been a bear though.
Could have.
And we'll get into
I don't
that.
know anything about the guy, but yeah, sure, he could have.
He was gay, so in the gay community, it's like the big hairy guys, So we'll get into that. So Robert Andrew Berdella Jr. was born on January 31st, 1949 in What, dude?
Fleeced.
Fuck you. Eat shit. 31st, 1949. in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, to Italian Catholic parents Robert and Mary. They were your typical Midwest family. Dad worked at Ford Motors. I'm built tough. Is that Chevy? Doesn't matter. And mom was a homemaker, and younger brother of 7 years was an athletic, popular kid. And good old Robert was a loner. I feel like they just kind of hit all the nails on the head with that classic Midwest family, you know?
Yeah.
So he was described as an intelligent, unathletic, seldom loner with a speech impediment, thick glasses, and high blood pressure.
Jesus. Did you add the blood pressure part in, or is that actually what they said?
No, they said he had a high blood pressure as like a preteen, like 13.
Crying out loud.
I mean, you're gonna find out it's like slightly genetic, but
okay.
So it's genetic diet. I don't know what the fuck it was. The times everybody's just eating Twinkies and shit. So although he was smart and did well in his classes, his father never liked him because dad was a big old sports guy. You know, like
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, come on, kick the football. And you're gonna do like your child's gonna be Charlie Brown in it in the backyard, just flat back in it. Good grief, pulling that ball away, you fucking monster. So that was a big old sports guy, making him much more fond of his younger son. And regardless of his fondness for one of his children, he often beat both with a belt, followed by emotional abuse. So still a bad daddy, if you want to ask me.
He could just beat him at horse.
He could. No, dad. Well, you know, dad's not athletic. That's why he's an athletic dad. He's overcompensating for all of his lost dreams.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and he wasn't a wiggle daddy. He wasn't a good dad. He's a bad daddy. So the abuse from his father and peers left Robert a troubled child who didn't relate to many people, which is why when he hit puberty and discovered that he was also gay, he told no one until many years later due to the fear of escalated abuse. And I was just thinking, I was like, isn't it weird how you really feel bad for most of these murders in like the first paragraph of the story?
Yeah, I mean, most murderers come from like tragic upbringings, which lead them towards that path.
But at the same time, there's like so many people who also have tragic upbringings and they just like don't murder people, and you're like, okay, but like you still feel bad. Like no kid should have to go through that.
Yeah.
So by his mid-teens, Robert had begun to display a degree of self-confidence. Way to go, Robert! Which would often manifest itself as being rude to women. Way to go, Robert! So just as Robert was on his way to being a cool, rude dude, his sorry, my phone says 20%. I might have to plug that in soon. But like I said, just as Robert was on his way to being a real rude, cool dude, his dad had a real bad heart attack at 39 and died.
Shit. Holy fuck.
He died. So this shook Robert up pretty bad. And he sought solace in religion, but after reading many different books and many different faiths, he became cynical about all religions and, just like gave up on all religions. So Robert was lost with no father, friends, or ideology, but it was soon after that he would find something that gave him purpose. This is where Robert and I really connect.
Turn to the Joker for a minute.
You want to see my high blood pressure? Why so diabetic? So, you can't edit it. So, in 1965, Robert saw the film adaptation of the John Fowles book, The Collector. The plot of this movie revolves around a man who stalks and abducts a woman he finds attractive and holds her captive in his windowless stone basement, viewing her as little more than an attractive specimen. After several weeks, the woman dies of a contracted illness despite her captor's efforts to keep her alive, and Robert later stated this movie had formed a lasting impression on him. And David, this is what I want to show you.
That's the book right there.
So here's the thing.
You sick fuck.
I saw this book on a list of like good like thriller horror novels, and I thought it was the new movie The Collector, which was a movie that came out in like 2008 or 10 or something, about like a burglar breaking into a house, and when he breaks into the house, he finds the whole family has been taken captive by a guy in like a lucha libre weird gimp mask, and that guy has set up traps all over the house. And that book is called The Collector, and then there's a sequel called The Collection. And
Okay.
I thought that movie was based off of a book. And I was like, oh, that would be a really interesting book to read. This was at a discount bookstore, and I saw it on the shelf, and I was like, oh, that's that book. That's that movie. So I got it, and I never read it. And then Katie was like, I don't have a book to read. And I was like, I have this book. And she read like the first like paragraph, and she's like, this book's like a little dark for me. And then I eventually...
The cover of the book does not look like it would be a dark... It's like a white cover, big letters, a butterfly, cursive.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like an aggressive...
Look at John Fowles in the back. He just looks so nice. I don't know if you can see him.
That dude looks like a lunatic.
No, he's nice. But yeah, I guess... I'd never read it, but like this fucking serial killer dude who was just like, that book inspired me, and I was like, maybe it's good I haven't read it, but now I kind of really want to read it to see what it's all about. But I heard it's like it's a psychological thriller, so it's like a little intense. But I mean, whatever. Catcher in the Rye made people kill John Lennon and who else? Oh, they wanted to kill Gwyneth Paltrow. No.
Why not?
Who's in Taxi Driver? Oh, fuck.
Queen Latifah?
No, Silence of the Lambs. Who's
Jodie Foster?
Yeah, Jodie Foster and Queen Latifah. That's Taxi, starring Jimmy Fallon, Giselle, and Queen Latifah. I watched that movie numerous times. Don't ask me.
Didn't? No one did.
Yes, I did. I saw it numerous times. I thought it was very funny at the time. Very funny. Anyway. I'm ashamed. Okay, so after his father's death, his mother remarried, and that made Robert extremely angry, even though like his dad was abusive to him. It doesn't really make sense, but that's how abusive relationships work sometimes. And he felt betrayed by his mother. This resulted in Robert becoming even more closed off and secluded, leaving him to immerse himself in his childhood hobbies such as painting, collecting coins and stamps, and writing to foreign pen pals in Vietnam and Burma. You know those very broad children's activities that everyone does?
Yeah.
When you get your pen pal in Burma?
So he wasn't killing any small animals yet.
Let me get to it. We're gonna get to it.
All right.
He later revealed that writing to his buddies in Vietnam and Burma sparked his interest in primitive arts, photographs, and antiques, as they would send him photographs of mythical and historical icons, ancient cultures, and architecture, as well as more stamps for his collection. Obviously, this guy liked collecting. So in 1967, after graduating from high school, Robert moved to Kansas City to attend the Kansas City Art Institute with aspirations of becoming a college professor. His first year at college went well, actually, and he was seen as an attentive and talented student. But in his second year at the Kansas City Art Institute, he became vocally anti-authoritarian and began hanging out with a clique of students who supplied him with drugs, which he then sold to other students.
Oh.
These are the kids your mom warns you about. So, especially in these Kansas City kids, they're the most dangerous, I tell you, you know?
Tech 9, man. Tech 9.
KCO, KC-Mo.
But you know,
there's two Kansas Cities.
Without Tech 9, man, we wouldn't have gotten The Rock's beautiful rap verse.
I literally keep doing that to Katie. I keep going, it's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour.
It's so
I
bad.
keep doing that to her, and she's like, please stop it.
Please so
stop
bad.
It. You know, there's two Kansas Cities, though. I don't know if this is Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas, but they're right next to each other. But you're right. Rock is the great, and I just can't wait for his murder spree. It's going to be brilliant. So,
Oh, he's gonna get high numbers.
oh yeah, he's going to tear your face off. Shout out Terramana. So, as his,
Is that his liquor?
that's his tequila company.
Oh my god.
He's like, Tech Nine, thank you. Shout out Terramana,
you, brother.
Shout out Terramana. And I was like, how much did he pay Tech
What do
Nine to like be like, put me in a music video? You know that's like all he listens to is Tech Nine when he works out.
Oh, absolutely.
Technicians
And himself.
yes,
He doesn't listen to music. He just likes to listen to his own.
and
grunts.
John Cena.
His intro song or just John Cena? in general?
John Cena's a better rapper. I said it.
Oh yeah.
I said it.
Yeah, easily.
So, as his reputation as a small-time drug dealer began to grow, so did his drinking habits, and eventually developed into animal torture, which
There it is.
which he did on 3 separate occasions in front of his peers, consisting of he tortured a chicken and a duck, and eventually I don't think he tortured it, but he experimented with sedatives on a dog. So
The fuck?
he gave like a dog sedatives and tranquilizers, but I don't think he tortured it. But like it's a form of control, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like still fucking weird.
Yeah.
And he wasn't just like blowing a little cloud of doobie smoke in his ear for fun, which
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
he's-
do anyway.
No.
He was jabbing it with horse tranquilizer, like in old school. It's like, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. So, shortly after, at the age of 19, Robert was busted selling meth to an undercover cop.
Yikes.
He upped it.
That was a bad look.
He upped the game. I feel like you don't get a lot of 19-year-old meth dealers, right?
You know, I don't know if I know any meth dealers, so I can't really be vocal on the age, but
You gotta go to Kansas City,
you never
baby.
know.
So,
I guess so.
no shade at Kansas City. You guys got tech. We're fine. So he was arrested and handed a 5-year suspended sentence, which he immediately fucked up because a month later he was busted by cops again for the possession of weed and LSD. You know what? At least he's bringing it down. Those are recreational.
take it down
Those
a
are
notch.
fine a little bit, you know, in moderation. But but those charges were eventually dropped due to lack of evidence. So he still did have to do his 5-year suspended sentence, which basically just means you're on probation and not in prison.
Yeah.
For selling fucking meth. But you're 19, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a crazy idea.
What year was this?
I think this was in he was born in 49. So this was
Oh, wow.
early 70s.
It's the 60s.
No.
Oh, 40. You said what year?
49.
49?
So he was 19. So he's like, it was
Yeah.
like 70s, almost 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Late 60s, early 70s. So, like I said, I had to go back down to where I was in the story. Here we go. So he eventually left the college just 2 years after joining due to the harsh criticism he was facing from his school administrators for butchering and cooking a duck for the sake of art.
I mean, if you're to say like you butchered it, like that is the correct term of like, you know, butchers do that, and then you cook
To
it.
be completely fair, I put butchered in the
Okay, so
article.
he probably,
it
like-
said murdered, but like,
He probably did it in a fucked up way.
yeah. And also, like, if you're at school and you're like 21, like, imagine you go into your art class and be like, I'm gonna kill I know it's a duck, but like, I'm gonna kill a cat for the sake of art. And you're like, it's school. You should probably not like kill anything for the sake of your art because every college student's art's like not that good in the first place. Like, give it a
Yeah.
couple of years before you start killing animals. Like, you know, be a little Banksy before you like gain a reputation.
down.
Yeah, exactly. Come
Why
on.
don't we start with stencils?
Yeah.
Huh?
Start with the thing where I can't even describe it. Never mind. It's the plastic. You know where you put your pencil in it, but it's in like a circle, and then it goes in like a circular thing, and it like draws like a. There's no way I could describe this thing.
Yeah, do they make those anymore? I feel like I haven't seen those since my childhood.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was like a transparent plastic, usually like a fun color, like
you put
red
your
or
pencil
yellow.
tip in the little hole, and then it like goes around and it forms like different circles. Yeah, and it forms
Those
like
things were awesome, man.
very, very cool. I love those.
Very cool.
I would buy that over a dead duck any day. So, so the next phase in Robert's life was a strange one, though, because it almost looked like he was on his way to bettering himself for his past mistakes. You see, Robert stayed in Kansas City and got an apartment in the Hyde Park district, where he began spending much of his free time with male prostitutes, drug addicts, petty criminals, and runaways. I know what you're thinking. How is this turning his life around?
Oh, it sounds so much better.
So, at this point, Robert was openly gay, but with most of these individuals he befriended and tried to help them shake their drug addictions and criminal lifestyles. So he was kind of mentoring these young, I don't want to, like, ne'er-do-wells, whatever you want to call them, like just like
ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, you know,
I've never heard that word before in my life.
Really? I'm gonna Google that one. Ne'er-do-wells. Ne'er-do-wells. What does ne'er-do-well mean? Idle, worthless person. Well, that's a little mean. That's a little harsh.
Well, I'm glad I've never heard that word.
Yeah, no one's called you that. Good for you. But I didn't mean to be that harsh. I just thought it was like a hoodlum or something. So, like I said, he was trying to help them with their like addiction and criminal lifestyles and like get them off the streets, which is actually like, you know, an honorable thing to do. So Robert would tell his neighbors that he viewed these troubled youths as his foster children who he needed to help. But soon after, Robert cut ties with all of his neighbors and began relying on his foster children as his social circle, or his quote-unquote foster children. It was said at first that it was a platonic relationship, but Robert quickly began using some of these lost youths for sex and developed a degree of control over them. I think his whole thing was control.
Yeah, it sounds like he likes the control.
Yeah, whether it be like helping these people or using them as sexual objects, or, you know, like, it was very much like he needed to be in power, and it obviously stems from his childhood, like most of these people. So the control became more severe, though, when Robert began to become more and more frustrated with the youth's ignorance to his efforts of trying to help them steer their lifestyles away from harm and deterioration. So he was getting mad about the fact that these people weren't taking his advice, his help serious, and they're just going back to what they're doing. Because guess what? He's not a like licensed psychiatrist or psychologist or life coach or addict
he's
rehabilitation. Yeah, he's just like, someone's like, I'm addicted to like meth and I'm like severely depressed and suicidal, and he's like, did you drink any water today?
It's a good reminder. Thank you.
He's like, how much water did you just like go drink some water, go watch like 3 episodes of The Office, take a nap, you'll be fine. Anyway, so
sleep it off.
So even though these shady social relationships were going on behind the scenes, Robert began helping out around the neighborhood by joining crime prevention associations and even becoming a chairman of one. So,
Yikes.
Like I said, he was kind of like getting pissed at like his little group of people, but he was like putting himself back out in the community. Even though he didn't talk to his neighbors, he was like, I want to join these like anti-crime things. He was like kind of trying to show everybody that he was like a good guy.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. Again, I think it's controlled to become the chairman of something or to control the neighborhood crime. Like I don't think murder was like on his mind yet. You know what I mean? I think it was just strictly control, which is very strange.
Selling meth and then joining, Night Watch.
Yeah, I think he got like a high off of being like, people like love my story. You know, like those people who are just like, I've completely like I'm bettering myself, and they just like love to tell everybody about it, and you're just like, that's like very good for you, but like you could tell
the main character.
Well, yeah, it's just like a different kind of high. It's like a social high, which actually is a good thing. If you feel good about yourself, that's a high
because I
agree with.
hate myself doesn't mean I can't say you should enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you should be a good person. Me, on the other hand, it's about pride. It's about power. Shout out Terramata. So
Yeah, Terramata. This episode is brought to you by Terramata. Can we just start pretending like they sponsor us and just do a sponsor every episode for Terramata?
Yeah.
Let's do a mock up. Talk about how good it is.
Make you want to slam your mom through a plexiglass table. I don't know.
Now I'm curious how much that shit costs.
You'll go hell in the cell with your grandpa for 14 minutes. I got you. What does Sawbone say? I got you for 3 minutes, Spider-Man. He's not Spider-Man yet, but
yeah,
I got you for 3 minutes. It's Randy Savage.
Yeah, and then Spider-Man says, "Cute outfit. Did your husband buy it for you?"
Homophobe.
Yeah, big
Homophobe.
time. Not cool, Peter.
Not cool. Randy Savage has a wonderful husband. So
I typed in Terramata, and I got it's a pain medicine similar to an opioid. It's classified as a synthetic opioid. It acts in the central nervous system to relieve pain.
He's high on opioids.
Warning: seizures have been reported in patients taking Terramata. Your risk of seizure is higher if you're taking higher doses than recommended. Yo, Rock, what are we talking about here?
He's like, it's about pride, it's about power. At the end, he's like, shout out heroin. And you're like, what? Why do you
shout
do
out
that?
over-the-counter heroin.
Crack cocaine. Where are you at?
Yeah, I had to have spelt this wrong.
Yeah, what's the rocks? Just type in rocks tequila.
Okay.
It's probably like something mana, like probably like mana, because like like he's Hawaiian, so they have like mana.
Terramana.
Mana.
It's Terra Mana, like one word. That's how it's spelt, not how it's pronounced. I typed in Tramadol.
That song's I think that song is called Face Off, by the way. You guys gotta watch Rock's fucking he's the last verse in the song. It's just like it's like a high school guy rapping. It's just like he's charming, but he's not a rapper. But I'm not a rapper.
If you thought his singing was bad in Monanu.
Wait. What are you trying to say? Oh, Moana? Monanu?
If you thought his singing was bad in Moana, just wait till you hear him rap.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Okay, so his tequila's $29.99, it looks like.
Okay, affordable at least.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get some tomorrow.
Terramana. You and Jared could take that to the dome during fucking
Bigfoot and the swamp thing are gonna be hiding out in the garage,
murder party,
going shot for shot in the name of the Lord. Dwayne,
you're just getting
Rock
pumped up.
the Johnson.
No, we gonna take your face off. Terramana, we gonna take your face off? Anyway, so even though let me just get back into the story. So we get really off track. So even Face Off, Google it. You're gonna hate yourself.
So, just skip forward. Don't listen to any.
Tech Nine's great. I like Tech Nine. So even though these shady social relationships were going on behind the scenes, like I said, Robert began helping the neighborhood and became the chairman of a anti-crime prevention. He eventually had to step down due to his work schedule as he became a short order line cook to pay off his legal fees for the meth bust at age 19. But that quickly escalated into a promising career. Like I said, he was kind of like on the right track, besides like that his weird control over those people. But he was still trying, that's fine. So Robert began working as a senior cook at a couple renowned Kansas City restaurants and even joined a chef's association. This dude loves being part of a community, I tell you. As a means of obtaining additional income, he also sold arcane items of art and antiques. he had accrued and collected from contacts he had established in Africa, Asia, and South America, and various Pacific Rim countries. Why is he? Is that because he's like he loves art? Is that why like he has like plugs in like Africa, Asia, South America, and Pacific Rim countries?
I don't know.
But he was just like getting like like I said, when he talked to his Burma buddies and Vietnam buddies, they would send him like pictures and be like, "Oh, this is like our culture," and he became like obsessed with it. And I think that's why he became like so into art as well. But he would initially operate this side business of his arcane items and art. He would operate the side business from his home, but soon began renting his own booth at the Westport flea market called Bob's Bizarre Bazaar.
Okay.
That's fun. It's kind of weird the way he spells it, though, because he goes noun before adjective.
Well, there is like a type of store that's called like a bazaar.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's a different word than like strange bazaar. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And Bob goes.
We have in Eugene we have Lazard's Bazaar.
Yeah, but this is Bob's Bazaar, as in the store, and then the adjective bizarre. Bob's Bazaar, bizarre.
Yeah, I like it.
I like the adjective first, but so the bazaar did occasionally well, but still wasn't enough to make ends meet. So Robert would also rent out a space in his apartment for additional money as well, and he would also steal goods and sell them at the bazaar. So, I mean,
it's like a shitty pawn shop.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like he's pulling the Airbnb move, which is, that's fine. But then he's like stealing shit too, and you're like, okay, calm down, Bob. So this is when shit escalates. I'm sorry.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, ugh, this is when he fucking murders people. So while at the flea market, he met a man at the booth adjacent to him named Paul Howell. Paul was a kind man, but it was Paul's son Jerry and his friends that would show up to the market and make fun of Robert and his flamboyant behavior. So although Jerry and Robert would sometimes get in heated arguments, their tumultuous relationship eventually became a casual friendship, as Robert would offer his legal and financial assistance should Jerry encounter minor scrapes with the law. So Jerry would show up with his friends and be like, ha ha ha, look at Robert, he's so flamboyantly gay. And then Robert would be like, fuck you, Jerry. And they would like get in like these heated arguments. But at the end of the day, they would like, they would find something to connect on and be like, oh yeah, you got to watch out for the cops. Like if a cop shows up, you got to do this, you got to do that, all that kind of shit. So like they kind of became like weird, like friends through that way. So Jerry even this is also kind of strange. So Jerry even confided in Robert that sometimes Jerry and his friends would moonlight as male prostitutes to make some money as well. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of, I mean, it was the 70s, so it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't seem like something you just like moonlight, but like also like prostitution was like rampant, and like you're like probably saw people just like on the corner be like, you get a Z job, you look at it, and wait, what is it? You look at it, I touch it while you watch. That's a nickel. What is it?
What's that from?
It's a beer fest. He's like, you want a Z job? Like, I touch it, and while I look at it, and you look at it, and anyway.
If you got to ask, can't afford it.
Exactly. So, unable to help his gang of troubled youths, I'm talking about, of course, Robert was being unable to help his gang of troubled youth and struggling to keep a failing business afloat and not being able to make ends meet. Robert had lost all control and felt powerless. So he couldn't help those people. His business was kind of failing. He was doing the chef thing, but he just like wasn't making ends meet even with that going on. And he just like a lot of stuff was just like not going his way. And when these type of people lose control, people who are maybe on the edge of murder, the way you take control back is murder. But
Yeah.
Robert was about to go further than he had ever gone before in order to gain control, and he saw his opportunity in 19-year-old Jerry Howell. So, this is where it gets a little graphic. So, Robert Berdella is believed to have killed his first victim on July 5th, 1984. So, it technically wasn't the 70s anymore. It was the 80s, but,
Yeah.
prostitution is still going on. So, July 5th, 1984. His first known victim was 19-year-old Jerry Howell, with whom he had become closely reacquainted in the year prior to his murder, and whom he abducted on the promise of driving the youth to attend a dancing contest in Merriman. According to Robert, he plied Jerry with alcohol, Valium, and ace-promazine, both in his car and at his house, until the youth became unconscious. He then injected Jerry with a heavy tranquilizer before binding the youth to his bed. So, like I said, this is a little graphic, just so you know. In part 2, it's going to get more graphic, just a heads up. And if we make a joke, we're not making light of this. I always say, we don't claim to be funny, but we do claim to make jokes, and it's just a coping mechanism, Sometimes you just make them because the shit's so horrible. But rest in peace, Jerry Howell, and this was obviously atrocious. So Jerry Howell was restrained to Robert Berdella's bed for a period of approximately 28 hours, and throughout this period of captivity, Berdella repeatedly drugged, tortured, raped, and violated him with foreign objects, repeatedly ignoring Howell's intermittent questioning as to why he was being treated in this manner, and pleased to be freed before, according to Berdella. So he was obviously just like begging, like, why are you doing this? Please let me go. According to Berdella, Jerry either asphyxiated on his own vomit, or the combination of the gag and the medicines were too strong for him to be able to catch breath. So here's another vital part of the story. So obviously Jerry died because he had a gag in his mouth and he was vomiting from pain or discomfort or something, or fright, and he couldn't get it out, or the gag was suffocating him. Something happened where he ended up dying. But another thing when it comes to the torture is that Robert wrote detailed all of this in a notebook. I haven't read that just because it's a little too intense for me. But I don't know if it's online or something like that. I haven't really searched for it, but I choose really not to. So Berdella would later state that he briefly attempted to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation upon Howell after he had died before dragging his body to the basement. He then suspended Howell's body above a large cooking pot and made several incisions in the youth's inner elbow and jugular vein before leaving the body suspended in this position overnight to allow the blood to drain from his corpse. The following day, he dismembered Howell's body using a chainsaw and boning knives, before wrapping the sections in newspaper and trash bags. These bags were later placed inside larger trash bags, which Berdella placed outside for a garbage crew to collect and take to a landfill. Later questioning by officers investigating Howell's disappearance, Berdella claimed to have driven the youth to Merriman as promised, and that the two had parted company close to Howell's intended destination. Robert further claimed he had not seen him since. And Robert had, just to wrap this up, part 1, Robert had control again, and he liked it. He liked that he was able to take out his social and sexual frustrations out on something, and knew that this new art form was one he had to explore more, as 5 more victims would fall victim to capture, torture, and murder by Robert Berdella.
Yeesh.
So it'll get a little bit more intense in the second one. I apologize if it's a little, but I know.
Hey,
But, like,
you know, you're bringing it's good Halloween spooky stuff.
it's yeah. I mean, people like that. Like I said, the people want the murder. People like it. I don't like.
They don't want it; they crave it.
They crave it. But like, I'm not one to just like be like, I'm gonna sit here and love talking about murder. I more like listening to it like you guys. But it's a little bit weirder when you have to like talk about it because it's just like you
Yeah.
feel dirty. You feel like you
bad.
shouldn't. Yeah, like obviously we're not making any money off this, but it feels like you're like profiting off like someone's murder, and then you're making a joke about it, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
See ya in hell, Bob.
The silver lining is when we don't make a penny off of any of this.
Bob's
We're
down
in
there.
debt.
Bob's down there. He's like, you didn't make any money off of it, did you? Nah. Failure, just like me. I'm like, Bob, I'm not like you. I'm just.
You
he's
started
like,
this by saying you're like him.
and he's like, let me see your book. What book did you bring? I'm like, fuck, Bob. Anyway, so yeah,
Bobby knows
that's
the books.
that's part one of Robert Berdella.
Alrighty. Well, hey there, Tobin. Let me ask you: Are you much of an adrenaline junkie?
Dude, I'm more of a Terramana guy myself, but
I mean, do you like crushing Monster Energy drinks while doing backflips on your motocross bike, screaming "yee yee"?
yeah, 2007, that was all me.
Yeah, you've grown out of it.
No, I had my Fox sticker on the back of my truck. I had my
Hell yeah.
fucking Etnies big puffy tongue shoes on.
Uh-huh.
I had my fucking my Heelys jeans on, or not Heelys. Not Jankos.
Yeah, Janko jeans.
I forget what they were called, but yeah, no, I didn't have Jankos. Jankos was that was too big for me.
Yeah, probably about Janko's it hides your etnies.
Yeah, I want people to see those ets.
You want people to see them tongues.
They're fat. Real
You're not
fat
gonna wear
tongue,
them
baby.
tongues without people seeing them.
Seriously, spiky gel hair. Who doesn't love it?
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Robert Berdella.
Well, so then what's the most extreme shit you ever done?
I kind of try to stick to like trampoline.
You're a trampolinist?
Yeah, I'm not much of a. I like go-karts. I've never really ridden a motorcycle that wasn't over like a child's motor, like a 50 or whatever. I've never
Yeah.
ridden like a big one. I would be totally down to it. Just I've never had the opportunity. I've never jumped out of a plane, as the word suggests today. And
Yeah.
I don't tend. Oh, you know what? The most extreme thing I did? I sat in the back of a race car as it drifted around Infineon Raceway, which is a NASCAR track up in Sonoma County, and it had just rained that day, and it was like one of those fucking like cool. I don't know. You call them like it was like a monster truck. Monster truck. It was like a monster car that like, it was like a drifting car or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call them, but the guy worked there and he drifted us as like children in the.
Yeah.
We knew him. It wasn't a random guy.
This wasn't in a Walmart parking
There
lot
were
next
cops.
to the arena.
There were cops chasing him, and he was drifting.
Kept smoking a weird little glass pipe that smelled funny.
It was
Made
quite
your feet numb.
It was quite exhilarating. Made your feet numb.
I don't know if that's a side effect. I don't know.
You know.
Shut up, man.
You
I
know.
don't.
You know.
Well, today we're gonna be talking about one thing I sure as shit will never do, and that's skydiving. But more importantly, accidents while skydiving.
Wait for my bachelor party, dude. It's just gonna be me and you, and
Yeah.
we're gonna be strapped to each other. No instructor, just you and me trying to like. It's like an escape
Just
room.
figure
We're
it
like-
out. It's
yeah,
an
we're-
escape room.
Yeah.
There's like a puzzle about a doctor. I don't know.
I just like it's like we have to figure out what to press. I just like clip the thing that disconnects us, and only one of us has the parachute. That was the wrong one.
I did indoor skydiving once with Haley Stanfield.
Steinfeld, you did it. Indoor
Steinfeld.
Wait. What?
Yeah, I went indoor
The
skydiving
girl
with
from
Haley.
True Grit.
Yeah.
Wait, why?
I'm not making this up at all.
Do you
It's
know
100
her?
No, it was when I used to work for iHeartRadio.
Oh, it was like a production thing.
Yeah, it was like she was in our studio and we went indoor skydiving.
They had it indoor skydiving nearby, or was that also in
Yeah.
the studio?
They have one in Portland.
Oh, it's
I think it's still
iFly.
there. Yeah.
It
was fun.
I did.
The guy got really mad at me.
Yeah. You have to fucking like play by the rules. They don't fuck around.
I wasn't trying to. I was confused.
They're like, don't go up too much, but like you gotta like hold your arms a certain way. You're like, it's hard to balance in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll stick to that skydiving. That's fine.
Well, so we'll start this off with a lady who inspired me to bring a few shorter stories to the table, just because hers wasn't exactly long enough. But hers has the most girth out of the stories.
Love girth.
And this is the story of Joan Murray and her fiery landing.
Oh. What? Sounds a little intense. I feel like you gave away a good chunk of the story right there.
No. That's what you'd think.
You know what? That is a good hook. I want to know more.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
See,
interested.
you know what? I've got a degree in journalism.
I got a degree in Norse Devin.
Now, jumping from an airplane can set you up for a few disasters, such as not pulling your cord, to release your parachute, or pulling the cord too late and too close to the ground. There are a long list of malfunctions with things like packing your chute wrong. There is also a chance of a canopy collision, which is what they call when your parachute runs into another parachute. Mm-hmm. Like, assuming that you're with groups of people. And, the obvious, like, landing problems, like you fucking hit a tree.
Oh, I see people like, I saw some guy, like, fucking land and, like, jam his knees and, like, break both of his legs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that, too.
It's bad. I feel like a lot of people. Not a lot, but some.
Yeah. So it's pretty obvious that falling, like, 14,500 feet at 120 miles per hour will not do your body good if you slam into the earth. Our bodies are not made to absorb that contact, and very few people have survived this, but I'll tell you who has. That's Joan Murray.
Do you think they shit their pants?
I'm pretty sure every time you die, you shit your pants if you've got it loaded up, no matter what the cause. Well,
no, I mean if you survive.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you shit your pants.
But the other thing that's like kind of interesting is that like I mean this is a little dark, but like the 9/11 people who are just like jumping out and like they're like they jumped out of the building.
They'd rather die from a fall than burning alive.
No, yeah, but like they said that like people who jump out of buildings like that, they usually have heart attacks before they hit the ground, and like wouldn't that? I mean I don't know how actually likely that is because it's probably hard to do an autopsy when somebody falls from that high up, but like you think that if your chute doesn't open, you're like, heart attack would be nice right about now. Can I get one of those? I'll have what she's having.
I feel like this is a very like unsupported generalization, but I feel like a lot of people that skydive are like younger people in good shape.
Yeah, except for like that fucking old guy who's like, I retired, and then he's like, and they're like, come on, Jacob, do it. And he's like, for Pentium. That's like his company that he like started. And he's like giving it, he's like stepping down as CEO. And he's like, I love Pentium. And he like jumps out of the plane. And then like they fucking never even gave him a backpack. Go to hell, Richard. What was his name?
Jacob.
Fucking die, Jacob.
Well, on that note, Joan was a 47-year-old bank executive for the Bank of America.
Ripe for a heart attack. That's what we call a Kansas City
brisket.
No, that's what we call a Kansas City immortal. If you make it over 39 without a heart attack, you're a Kansas City immortal. They got good barbecue. Can you blame them?
Well, Joan is from, she was living in North Carolina at the time. Joan was a typical family lady, loving her job, her family, husband, the kids, the one glass of red wine at dinner kind of lady.
Oh, I'm going to do two or bust.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
even waste my fucking time.
You're nothing like Joan.
I need these antioxidants for all these fucking free radicals in my body.
Yeah. But Joan had a wild side, an extreme side, and that was her new passion for skydiving.
Ooh. Wait, that's not a passion. That's something you do once and you go, I cummed.
Well, hold on, because Joan went, she went about the right way with several hours of skydiving training, and at this point, she had already jumped out of a perfectly good airplane 35 times.
Airplane? Hey,
35 times.
What's up, idiot? Make fun of me, 34.
Well, I mean, I did grow up with a speech impediment, so you're actually just insulting me.
Whatever you say, Bob. High blood pressure too, buddy? Wait, 35 times?
Yeah, so she wasn't like a newbie.
Okay.
She knew what she was doing with the big jump.
Yeah, no joke. Jeez, wait, she started this at 50...
No, she was 47 at the time
47.
of this accident, I believe.
Oh, so she had been doing it for a little bit before that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So on September 25th, 1999, Joan traveled to South Carolina from north, right?
That's
she was in north.
That's quite a trip south. I assume.
I think it wasn't important, but if I remember correctly, I think it was only like an hour drive. Not important. That's why I didn't add it in. But so she was going to do another jump. Joan was pumped, and the adrenaline started to course through her muscle-bound body as the plane took off. Once the plane was once it was at the appropriate height, she readied herself and waited for her go-ahead to be one with the Eagles. About 45 seconds into her jump, she reached for her cord to deploy her chute and pulled, but much to her surprise, nothing happened. In full panic mode, she decided to do, the next thing that think about it, Joan. You did all that training. It's prepared you for this. What are you going to do?
Is there training to tell you? I mean, backup shoot, right?
Oh, yeah. She reached for her backup chute.
Okay.
And she yugged that boy into existence.
You know what's crazy about me? No training at all. Isn't that crazy?
Zero
training, and I knew what to do next.
Yeah, I watched training once on a Red Bull commercial I did with David the Coward. We had a person skydive because it was on her bucket list.
Do you know? Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Do you know?
It was really fun being on the ground and watching her fall for like waiting for the plane to go up and
yeah.
Good use of my time.
do you know what step 3 is after the second chute doesn't open?
What is that?
Have a heart attack.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
So,
it's a vital step.
So she reached for the backup, but surely that can't be the end of the story. And it wasn't as I don't know what I wrote there. The
I don't know
reserve
you wrote there
chute.
either.
Yeah, the reserve chute got tangled. The cords got all tangled up, forcing her to spin out of control and begin to fall fast once again. At 700 feet, her backup chute was toast, and it was not catching any air as she hurtled towards the Earth's surface at 80 miles per hour.
Ooh.
Onlookers watched in horror as Joan's body slammed into the ground.
Oh.
Yeah. Emergency responders rushed to her side.
Is South Carolina known for being grass-filled?
I have no idea.
I'm just trying to think of a soft landing that she could possibly... Hay bales?
Coming in at 80 miles per hour, there's not many things that I think you're going to land on.
Whoa, trampoline?
Don't think... I feel like this was in a field, not in a residential area.
Sounds like the best place to put a trampoline.
It's true. The whole floor is trampolines.
Ooh, I love one of them parks.
So emergency responders rushed to her side and took her to the hospital where doctors were sure she wouldn't make it. The right side of her body was smashed, and she hit the ground so goddamn hard, even the fillings from her teeth were knocked completely out.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
She needs to brush more. She
needs some milk.
No, I feel this too. Oh
the
my
doctors,
God. What? I'm just thinking of like hitting the ground, and like when you like belly flop or land wrong on a high jump off a rock, and you make that noise. I wonder what her noise sounded like. Where she's like, and
It's like that.
And then she's like, and there's all the fill-ins coming out.
It was like that sound of that video of the dog I sent you the other day.
Oh, yeah, the demonic possessed dog. She was a demonic.
So, yeah, the doctors couldn't make any sense of the fact that she was still alive, and what kind of miracle happened here. Then the doctors started to notice small red bumps all over her body.
What?
After much investigation, the doctors came to the confusing discovery that she was covered in fire ant bites.
Whoa.
It turns
Her
out
chute
when
was
Joan,
full of fire ants.
Yeah, that's why it was malfunctioning. It turns out when Joan smacked the ground, she landed on soft dirt that was home to a colony of fire ants.
Oh, so it was like fucking hollow underneath?
A little bit. But that's not what saved her. So she was bitten over 200 times. And, you might talk to, say to yourself, wow, talk about bad luck. She fell on fucking earth after jumping out of a goddamn plane. And then she's getting bitten by 200 ants. But it was actually the little nasty little fire boys that saved her life.
Well, I have to say this, David. You're not even thinking about the ants' perspective.
Like, what the fuck is that?
What is that?
Oh, shit.
Thing?
That's a bank teller. That's a bank executive.
All the ants are like, oh. It's like, I can't fucking breathe.
She just body slammed us from 14,500 feet. Let's fight this bitch.
My fucking thorax. Oh,
shit.
My antenna's all fucked up.
So, fire ants have venom known as solenospin. And I know that's not right. There's some ant expert being like, this fucking idiot. And realistically, Joan should have died right there and then when she hit the surface. But because of the fire ant venom, her body was stimulated and her nervous system was feeding pure adrenaline, keeping her heart beating.
What?
Yeah, so the ants biting her were keeping her heart beating.
Wow. That is something doctors need to really implement. I know they got the maggots down. They're on payroll. The maggots are on payroll, but the fire ants, they're kind of being snubbed a little bit. Saving lives?
They don't even know their own value.
Maggots clean infections. Ants are defibrillators.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit.
Joan was in a coma for 2 weeks, but was able to make a full recovery following 20 reconstructive surgeries and 17 blood transfusions.
Oh my god! Imagine waking up out of that coma and being like, "Put me back in the coma, put me back in the coma."
Fuck. She had rods placed in her legs. What?
More blood. Can I have more blood?
Rounded up to 20.
Sorry, rods?
She had rods placed in her legs and spikes in her pelvis to hold her back together.
She kind of sounds like a badass twisted metal car.
So, dude, you're telling me. At the end of her visit, the doctor treating her wrote "miracle" on the front of her file as he put out his cigarette and slid it in the file cabinet labeled Avengers.
Dude, if there's one thing you should know about the Avengers is that it only takes a fall from like 100 feet to become paralyzed from the waist down. Oh, poor Don Cheadle. War Machine.
Obviously, that last little bit was fake, but no, the doctor did write "miracle" on her actual like hospital file.
And then they put her on that fucking hockey team to beat Russia.
Played goalie. No pucks could break that spine.
The pucks would get stuck in her spikes on her pelvis.
All right, so let's go on to our next story. Let's talk about Michael Holmes. Michael Holmes was a 25-year-old man from New Zealand, and he also had a hunger for the extreme. What'd you say?
New Zealand.
Get
this man a Snickers. He's hungry for the extreme.
Michael was more of a professional skydiver than a hobbyist, being that he packed his own chute before a jump. Don't think that's common.
Don't do that.
The jump would take place 4,572 meters over Taupo, which is 15,000 feet for us Americans. Yeah!
Will they go kilometers? Kilometers. Kilos. Kilos and Kiwis.
After his jump, enjoying the free fall, the time came that Michael needed to deploy his chute about 2,000 feet above ground. But as you would have guessed, his chute malfunctioned. The chute sent Michael spiraling out of control, and he, was quickly plummeting to earth. Being that he was an experienced jumper, he knew that the chute was spinning too fast to gain control, and he reached for the standard chute release that is featured on basically every parachute. Pop that thing off and throw your little backup. But much like before, this emergency release malfunctioned as well, and he continued to spin and fall. Michael reached for his knife in attempt to cut the cords so he could deploy his backup chute, but no way, Jose.
You have to cut your parachute off before you can deploy your second one?
You have to remove it.
Is there like a release cord? No, that can't be a thing. That's way too dangerous to have.
That's what I was just saying, was that there's a feature. It's like a release. Every parachute has like a release that you can click, but that malfunctioned too.
Oh shit. This guy's bad. I'm not going to pack. Yeah. I'm not going to let him pack for my vacations.
Yeah, so he got his knife to cut the cords, but there was no way he could do it with the force of the spin. So like there's no way for him to really use his knife.
He just starts stabbing himself.
Desperate and running out of options, his best way to try to release the best thing he had to do was to release his backup and hope that it would not collide with his faulty chute. But it was really the only option for survival, even though like pretty small odds that it wouldn't hit the other one that was trailing above him. Deploying his reserve chute, you can probably guess what happened. Nothing. The only thing Michael could do now was be at peace that these were his final moments falling to his death.
Jesus.
Saying, well, you've done everything you can, and this is how you'll die, to himself. Michael waved to his GoPro saying, all right, bye.
No fucking way.
And Michael hit the ground.
I wish I could be that cool, calm, and collected in like that moment. Mine would be like,
delete my browser history. Microwave the external hard drive.
I'd look right into that GoPro and I'd be like, it's about pride, it's about power. We do hunger, we do power. And then I hit before I could even fucking think Terramana, really.
So the next thing was that his first thought was, I'm dead. But soon after, he snapped out his confused daze, which was brought on from a concussion from hitting the fucking ground. Michael, realizing that he was alive, said his first feelings were embarrassment.
Oh, his pants fell down?
He was embarrassed that his chute fucked up. He wasn't like, thank God I'm alive. He was like, oh, fuck, this is embarrassing. Guy's an animal.
The guy is humble.
So Michael's life was saved solely on the fact that he had landed in a large blackberry bush, which somehow broke his fall enough for him to tell the tale.
Blackberry bushes have thorns, huh?
Yeah, they do.
I'll take that. Wow, man, imagine the tasty jam that man made that day.
Oh, man. He made some jam on the ground for sure.
Can I have some of that blackberry jam? The one, I got all shoved down the back of my pants. Right? We said they shit when they hit.
They always shit when they hit.
Shit
you
when
always
they
shit
hit.
when you hit.
Yeah, it's true.
I live by that code.
Die by that code. Shit by that code.
So now it's time for the last of my skydiving horrors, and this is a sadder one. I probably shouldn't have ended with this one, but this is the story of Elijah Arans.
Also, like, I don't think I really like properly express myself on how terrified I am of skydiving.
Oh God, no! Fuck that! I will never do. Like, that is one thing on my list that I will never do. I'm not a heights guy.
I like might do it at like 60-ish because then like most of it's behind you, right?
Yeah.
I would just hate
Definitely the good parts.
I would just hate to be like, fuck. Like, I wanted to have fun today and I died because of it. Like, yeah. I know that, like, you know, you're walking down the street, a car could just like come up on the sidewalk and hit you. That sucks. That really does suck. But you don't really have control over that. But like,
you don't sign up for that.
You don't pay
for that.
I would feel kind of stupid to be like, this is the thing that people do to kill themselves, and I'm doing it for fun. And like, there's a thing that stops me from dying at the last second, and I'm putting a lot of stock in that thing and the backup thing. It's like, I don't know. It's so scary to me, but like, it does look fun, and it seems like it's a roller coaster phenomenon for me when I was a child, where I'm like, I'm so fucking scared to do it, and then right when you land on the ground, you go, "That's so fun. Let's do it again," and you're like,
yeah,
you know, I feel like that would happen, but I'm just so fucking scared to do that shit.
Man, I would haunt them until I got a refund. So.
Bill, my family.
Elijah was only 14 years old when he signed up to go skydiving. But unlike the past stories, this one would be a tandem jump with an instructor named Tony Rokov. The two were jumping over New South Wales in Australia. When the two made their jump, things seemed to be going okay until an unexpected gust of wind blindsided them from what was appearing to be like a perfect weather day. Like, there was no expectation for it all. It came out of nowhere. And the gust of wind hit their chute and deflated it, which is, you know, the term of like,
it turned it inside out.
Not so much turn it inside out, but like once they kind of close, it's hard for them to like really catch wind again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it got tangled up, so it wasn't catching any wind. The gust of wind hit their chute and deflated, like I said, and the two started to drop fast. Tony had been in the Australian military and had been jumping from planes his entire life. The type of person you'd want to be in this position with, especially for a 14-year-old kid. I'm not sure if the two were equipped with a backup chute or not, because it didn't say in the thing I was reading, or if like they didn't pull it because of the whole thing with the BlackBerry guy.
Don't you have to?
Yeah. But I feel like if your chute is like malfunctioning, like kind of like what happened before, it's like you can't really deploy it because it will just hit the bad one and they'll both be bad.
You got to release it or cut it, and then you can do your backup chute. But it's also like, that's such a, like you said, that's a risky situation because you're kind of hoping that like your first parachute fixes itself, and you're like, I know it's not going to, but like if I cut this off and my second one for some reason doesn't deploy, then I have nothing left. You know what I mean? It's like, it's obviously it makes sense to deploy the second, but it's a scary commitment, just be like, cut it, let it loose.
I also wasn't sure if like maybe they were too close to the ground. They didn't have enough time to like pull the next one. But yeah, they were falling fast. It was then Tony, being the former Special Forces jumper, tucked himself around and underneath Elijah and pushed the child above him, and boom, the two hit the ground. Elijah, the 14-year-old boy, survived the fall because Tony had gotten himself underneath him to break his fall. But in his courageous act of saving the boy, Tony sacrificed himself, dying instantly. After his death, Tony Rokov was awarded the Star of Courage for his sacrifice, being one of the only 170 people in Australia to ever receive this award.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, at the end of the day, statistically, you have 1 in 100,000 chances of dying while skydiving, so that's pretty good.
1 in 100?
1 in 100,000.
Oh, 100,000.
Yeah, but to be safe before you do a big jump, maybe make sure you have it, mapped out where the closest fire ant hill is, blackberry bush, or retired special forces soldier are.
I mean, obviously, what's his name? Tony?
Yeah.
Tony's a goddamn
Badass.
hero, selfless.
Yeah.
That's
Big time.
fucking, like, it kind of gave me chills, and I was like, no jokes, just like, whoa, like that like
super awesome.
kind of got me a little bit. I was like, holy, like, I can't even imagine being that selfless. But on the other hand, a joke did come to my mind where where Tony just like holds Elijah in front of him and he hits the ground and then he gets up and he goes, I'm embarrassed.
Jesus Christ.
He goes, I'm embarrassed. I shouldn't have done that.
All right. See you guys next time. I'm out of here.
David's leaving.
I'm
But
outta
like,
here.
no, but like, no, that's like incredible. And like, wow. I mean, if you're Elijah, you're just like, what just happened? Like, it's just like so sad, but also heroic and amazing. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on there, but whew. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Camp Strange. We always appreciate when you stop by, and we love telling you these stories. So thanks for taking around. Anyway, if you guys want any more information, go to Camp Strange Podcast on Instagram.com. Click the link in bio, and we have everything in there where it comes to merch, where you can find us and listen to us, any of that stuff. You're listening to us right now, so you know where to find us. So it's like, I don't know why I said that. If you guys want to send us something, send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, that would be great as well. But whatever, doesn't matter. David, do you have anything to say before we officially head the hell out of here?
Yeah, just go drink yourself some Terramano. It'll almost be the weekend by the time you guys are listening to us. Make sure you pick up a bottle.
David, are you gonna get a bottle?
It's really good stuff.
Are you gonna get one? Get one.
Huh?
Are you gonna get one?
100%. I looked up
Please
where they
do.
were sold in the area, and there's one next to my work. So
Thank you. I might have to get one.
yeah, I'm gonna get some Terramano. I'm gonna be drinking it. I'm trying to talk like The Rock. I'm gonna be drinking it with my brother tomorrow. I got the dumbbells, and we're gonna go into the garage and do some curls and drink some Terramano.
Brother Kevin Hart. Brother Kevin Hart. Jungle Cruise. Hop on my Jungle Cruise, Kevin Hart. Jumanji.
Oh, look, it's me, The Rock. I'm back in khaki, and I'm in the jungle. What movie am I doing? Yeah, you don't know.
I like the meme where it goes, "Shut the hell up, bitch." That one's really funny to me. That's from his WWE days.
Yeah.
But
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
yeah.
That was a catch line.
It's his catchphrase.
Yeah, that.
And then he also used to say, "Shut up," or like, "Cause The Rock don't care," or something. I forget. He'd say like some shit like that. I don't know.
Real attitude on this young fella. He really
Yeah.
matured.
He was a bad guy. People loved him though. He was great.
Once he embraced that bald boy, lifestyle, he humbled up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, he's killing it. Bigger than ever. I mean, like career-wise and body.
Career and mass, yeah.
Dude, he's a planet. He has a moon, or he has a little tiny moon on his shoulder.
He is Dwayne Rock the Johnson.
I sometimes see like skydivers crashing into his body. He's a planet.
Yeah, instant. That one, no Blackberry Bush is gonna save him that.
Yeah, no, not even that big fucking tattoo across his arm. Not even pride or power. He'll devour you.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah. His will outmatch yours.
So, anyway, thank you guys so much, and don't forget to stay strange.